These are 3 websites that I built and managed with Claude Code, and I have 0 development background. I have never taken a coding class, and every single one of them cost me nothing to host. Let me show you all 3, and then I will build something new on one of them live right now. So this is the main website. If you were to go on YouTube, you see the link. This is where you go to. All of this was added with Claude Code. This actually links to my product, custom lead page. Here you can see some of the blog posts from last month and process. But this is a blog post, resource section, and of course an about, and then products. Then if I go to here, these are projects that I just don't have the time and resources to work on right now. But here you can see some blog articles. This is supposed to be a personal finance blog. And again, this would work. It signs up to the email. It's configured with MailerLite, has about section. This is another one that I purchased years ago. And again, I just redid it, tweaking around. Similar concept, just different angle with personal finance. You can see this is custom as well. This works and it follows you along. So all this was built, these tables, everything was configured. Even these images, but all this works within Claude Code. That's the beautiful part. I don't have to use separate tools to generate all this. You can see it's different background, different vibe too, which I like. So all this is Claude Code. And these are 3 production websites, so they're not actually hosted on my computer, which even then it'll still be pretty cool, but I don't have to sign up for something like Bluehost, for example. These are just straight on Vercel, which is free. You get a free tier of a certain cap, and so far just these 3 websites alone, they're free. Nothing. And they're instant. They're super fast. If I was to put it on, for example, Google PageSpeed, see if I can actually load it, and then see if it works. If you have ever used any WordPress websites, you'll know that when you were to go through here, at times you would have to pay a developer and even more money to enhance this for you in terms of SEO and just best practices. And the best part is, if I want to spend time on this, I could paste it to Claude Code and it could help me. But this is a website I have not managed in months at this point, and it's still performing pretty well. So this is a basic website. You could build something with this with WordPress, but it would take you a little bit longer, even if you were to buy a template, which is another cost. This is all free, by the way. This is Astro Framework in the background. And if you don't know what any of those means, do not worry. It took me a few weeks, but the point is, if you just start diving into it, you'll get into it. These are all like normal websites, but here's where it gets interesting. So now here is Claude Code. So these are 2 separate projects, 3 in total, and all powered within Claude Code, which means they all have their separate folder. And so in this folder named Chris Alarcon, which is me, this is my personal website. It says you would just feed it to your Claude Code and it'll help you install it in literally minutes. So that's what this is. This is also free, by the way, but honestly, I got far enough for my needs with the free theme, and you can do it with Claude Code to your taste. So if you were starting from scratch, you would just open this new instance, a new folder in Claude Code. You would call it whatever you want for your website. You would install Astro Framework, and you could just tell Claude Code, hey, read this website, install it for me. Once that is installed, you then install a separate theme. There's free themes, almost like WordPress, and you tell Claude Code, hey, install this free theme for me. And then you get to work. You will have something that's similar to this. Now here's where the Claude Code lives in the .claude. You'll see a lot of the custom stuff that pertains to Claude Code. But the rest of the files, the majority of it is just the website itself. And my workflow typically is, I already got the bare bones on my website. And so I don't really need to do major changes, but maybe in the future I will change this and maybe add customization. And so if I wanted to just change this, right? This is a live website. If you were to copy this, it's the .com, right? Now, when I make changes, I don't just make them to the live website immediately. I usually do it locally, and I'm gonna show you that in a second. So I'm gonna change this to reflect my current stack, which the script I'm probably gonna drop off soon. So I'm gonna ask Claude Code to help me take this one off. Hey Claude, I need your help editing the about page, the my stack section. There's a section for the script. Help me remove that and then push it locally so I can view it. Let's see what it does. And this is pretty much my workflow. I have an idea, and if you have no idea what to edit, you have no idea about front-end design, Claude does come in with a front-end design skill, which means Claude understands how to design websites. So I just gotta tell your vibe, and then it'll get cracking from there. And in case you're wondering what the heck is Astro, why Astro? First of all, it's free, it's fast, it's great for SEO. So look, I click it, and now this is locally. You can tell because here's the HTTP local. You will not be able to see this. This is a replica of my main website. It has all the live code, just with that modification. So if I go here, you can see it's gone. So that's pretty cool. And that's pretty much how I go back and forth. And so hopefully like your mind is getting blown if you haven't used Claude Code this way, because you no longer have to be a designer. You no longer have to understand code at all. You just have to have the vision, the taste, and the creativity on what to prompt or to ask Claude Code to help you. And if you don't know, just reverse prompt, which I keep hearing that, but it works. Just ask Claude, I don't know what to do. What should I do to enhance this website? Or what people should I study? And then you start from there and the ball gets rolling, you get into it. But the good news is that I could manage these 3 websites if I wanted to. And so if you are someone that is struggling to build your website, now you shouldn't have an excuse. You can do. If you're starting with Claude Code, start with a $20 plan and install Claude Code on your Mac or your computer. You can build an entire website. So it takes me like an hour or 2. If you just have good taste and you have good direction, you're like a good project manager, that's a good tip, is to plan first, decide what pages you're going to build, and examples of what themes you like. One thing I will say as well is if you run into issues, just paste them in there, because, and let's say you made a change here in this page and it broke something. It might break the whole website or the whole page where you would just get an error message. Copy that, paste it back to Claude Code and ask it to fix it, and you're pretty much good to go. So that's 3 websites, 0 hosting cost, 0 coding knowledge needed, Claude Code and Astro on Vercel, and that is the whole stack.